Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Remember the bell notification, comment down below, like and share. Most importantly, to get your daily videos once a day to fleece, heist, and shiest the market manipulators and to profit and to have some fun and entertainment here, Jay, on this November the 18th, 2024 update. You can see, take a look if you have Facebook around the world. Hit that like button and follow button on Michigan Snow Forecast Gold Standard. You can see the last 28 days we've accumulated 1,047,890 views. We've crossed the 7 million view mark, if you can believe that already, in this page's history. So if you would like to have a little fun on Facebook with some weather information and the rest of my shenanigans on here, go to Michigan Snow Forecast Gold Standard. That's right, the gold standard in winter weather update and long range, the short term, medium range forecasting. And if we go to our page, that's it right there. Michigan Snow Forecast Gold Standard. And we're cruising on our way to 10,000 followers, and then 50,000 followers, and then 100,000 followers, if you can believe that. If you're on Facebook, I encourage you, my fans here, to go over there and hit that like and follow button and help me promote that channel to give the gold standard and snowfall predicting, just like this is the gold standard and coin updates. What we're looking at here is what we've been talking about. We're going to start with everyone's favorite, the old XRP, to start it all out. Where's the XRP at? There it is. You can see the XRP had that phenomenal pump, and now we're sort of consolidating. And what we were talking about the last few days is still what's going on here. Is what often happens after a major pump is you get a consolidation and then return to the pump, or a little bit of a consolidation to the downside. And our short-term targets here are, if we have a healthy consolidation like we were talking about yesterday, check out that video, it's got a lot of good reaction. We might come down to that 99 cents to $1 and then start to trend back upwards, right? And that would be a very healthy consolidation. Or we could even break down a little bit farther and consolidate, and that would still be a very healthy correction after we've had greater than a 100% or 170% move over the last couple of weeks and really over the last couple of days. And that's what we're watching out for. What happens if we look at some of the history after we've had some phenomenal pumps, like back during the COVID-induced pump? We went from December, the first pump, look at that. We went up 242%, and then we gave it all back. And then we had a huge run from there of 220%. So we had two 220% pumps. And then on that consolidation, we held major support, and then we finished off the blow off top of a 700% move, all the way up from the swing low to the swing high from before where the pump started, all the way up to about $1.96, right? And then when we had another big pump here, and we're just showing you what big pumps do, and then what you can look for after to kind of see what's going on. Then we had a huge pump here in September 2022. We pumped up greater than 76%, and then we came all the way back down, and then we traded sideways for a while until we had pump number one right here of greater than 65%, and then we had a nice 60% retracement leading into the months leading up into the great manipulation with the judge on the 100% pump in one day. We went up 108% literally in one day. And then if you notice what happened, we had the big wick off top, and then we came down, and then for a few weeks we traded up and sideways into this, and then we started trading down and couldn't hold the moving averages, and then had a big flush. Because that's very normal in crypto, where you have a big pump, and then you have profit taking and a shakeout, and all the other sorts of things that happen in crypto, where you have the big pump and then it trades sideways and gets boring for a while, just like we had here in July of 2024. We were down there at about 38 cents, and then we pumped all the way up 70%, and then we gave away some of that pump down to about 31%, and then recently that was the big blow off top with the Donald J. Trump news, and that's what we're going to look for now. What actually happens here. do we trade sideways and then have some kind of correction to the downside, where our first downside target would be $1, and then we have the 92 cents. And then if we broke that, we'd be back into this rising channel. But if we break up past here, you would think that your first major target would be up here at $1.90, which was the old high from the COVID pump. And that's something that we're watching out for. And that's something that we're paying attention to, as right now we're just had the big pump and now we're trading sideways, right? And that's what we're going to have to watch, because these can take a week or two or even 3 before it decides to do its next major move, whether it's a correction to the upside or a profit taking correction to the downside, which would be healthy back in to these moving averages. And if we go out into the daily time frame to see where the moving averages are, you can see right now is when you get way above the moving averages, as a rule of thumb, or way below the moving averages, either the price will trade back in to the moving averages really quick in the daily time frame, or the price will just stagnate in a range and allow the moving averages to catch up to it, and then it'll trade in to the moving averages on a slight consolidation, given enough time, because every day in the moving averages, they start to trend up, and the longer your price trades sideways without even going up or down any, eventually the moving averages will come back in to the price, because whether you're way above it or way below it, the price and the moving averages always end up back to each other. Just like right here, you had a major flush, and then you had a big pump, and then you traded sideways after that, and the moving averages caught up to it as the price traded sideways and had its little return rally, but more or less decides the wick back here. See this? More or less decides the wick. It pulled up from the wick and traded sideways, and the moving averages traded back into it. And then you had your consolidation until your next major move. The same way as right here, you had a big pump from below the moving averages, you got way above the moving averages, then you had profit taking, then you came back up, and then you traded sideways right along into the moving averages, right? So that's what I'm looking for here in the XRP price, is either you have a big pump, a big dump. Obviously, duh, nobody knows exactly what it's going to do, but one way or the other, this price and the moving averages in the daily time frame will meet back up with each other, because that's just what happens with the price and the moving average, because the moving average is just the history of the price. If you have a 200-day moving average, it's just a history of the moving averages for 200 days, right? And then you can see in the daily time frame here in the XLM, we're more or less trading sideways too. It's an up and sideways consolidation, which could mean that you might have some kind of a fallback down into this 19 or 20 cent range, and then try to pump back up off the 100-day moving average or the medium range moving average in blue, because when you get too far away from the moving averages, you have to trade back into them. If you have a big pump to the upside, your next major target up is 28.29 cents in this green resistance box. But we're still showing no signs. Are we going to consolidate? Are we going to have a brief sell-off to the downside? Or are we going to pump straight up to the upside? We still don't have any big signals yet, but we're going to keep paying attention to that and keep an eye out on what's going on. But one major trend line that I would pay attention to here would be, if we zoom back out into the hour time frame, a shorter term trend line, what I would be paying attention to here in the XLM price to try to give us some data or some insight on what might happen, is really from where this whole pump started. We use it as resistance, 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 right up into there, and then support. That would be really what I'm looking at right there. Actually, you really want to go from right where it started to pump. See that? We use it as resistance, resistance, head and shoulders, fulfill the target and move, and then we blew past it. So this is really a trend line that I'd be paying attention to in the shorter term 1 hour time frame trend line, and we'll put that in fancy color. What color are we feeling today? Blue. We'll put it in blue. That would be a nice trend line that I'd be paying attention to, because then it came back down here on its first retracement and held it as support. So this could be a logical area on a little bit of a trading sideways and down, a slight decline back to 23, 24 cents, 21 cents into the future. Or if it did it quicker, you'd be sitting back down into here. That's a trend line that I would pay attention to, because if it flipped below it, it could start using that as support. and resistance if it gets below it. And then if we look at the Bitcoin price, we'll go into the daily time frame. You can see the daily time frame here after its big move out of this flag consolidation. What I would be looking at here in the daily time frame is either this is going to pump straight back up to the upside, or what I would do is I would put a right there. I'd put a line right here at the breakout, right? See that at the point of a breakout. And then as we zoom in here a little bit to the hour time frame, what we've been paying attention to is this some kind of maybe a short-term healthy correction, head and shoulders, topping reversal pattern right there, where like we had drawn out for the last few days and now it's just kind of trading sideways. You would have the neckline that formed support, 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 neckline. You can even, that doesn't make sense. Neckline right into there. See that? You got your major hits. You got multiple areas of hits. 1, support, 2, support, 3, support, and now it's using it as support and resistance. Could this be some sort of a head and shoulders short-term profit-taking topping reversal pattern in the very, very short term to get some profit? And what you would do is you'd go from the top of the head to the neckline. Oops, we need to zoom in even closer. And what we need to do is, this is a very short time frame. We need to go even any closer, not the 4-hour time frame. We need to go into the 45-minute to get a better look at this because it is a very, very short time frame here that we're looking at. You'd go from the top to the neckline to the point of a breakout, and we're still here. And if it did break out, now watch how this would line up. If we go to say the 2-hour time frame, you have the 200-day moving average in green sitting right there, and that would be a very, very healthy targeted move on a correction down here to about $84,000. Or if it breaks to the upside, where I'd be looking at a break to the upside, would be just the opposite. I would take a targeted move from the bottom to the top of the neckline, right? And then I would zoom in here to grab it because it is a small time frame to the point of a breakout, and that would give you your next major target up here at just about $100,000. Oop, that's not the one I like. Get rid of that. We like the price notes, price label. That would give you your next major target if it breaks to the upside at about $99,859 to $100,000. Like, subscribe, and share my beautiful, lovely, glowing audience. Peace and love, Jay.